Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
Come on, you're prolonging the inevitable.
Live from the Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Dale and Scott.
Nevada.
Welcome to the Swish Edition. That's all, folks. Thank you. Good night.
Dale's ready to end before we've even started. What are we going to do with him? What are we going to do with him? Hey, listen, y'all. It's episode 394. It's February 7th, 2023. So excited to be back with you. I am. I don't know about Dale, but I love it. I want to talk about the Chrisleys again. So this came up on my radar this week, Dale.
Yeah.
So you remember we've talked about the Chrisleys before.
Yeah.
We know that Todd and Julie have gone to prison. Todd for 12 years, Julie for 7 years for tax evasion and basically defrauding banks for $30 million, blah, 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 blah. Now, Savannah, the daughter who is 25 years old, and Chase, the son who is 26 years old, can't stop talking about the plight of their family. They've got a podcast going.
This is all about money, by the way.
They're all about, oh, woe is me,
All about
woe
money.
is me, woe is me. But here's the thing. Apparently, the kids have been offered millions of dollars for a new reality show and a book deal.
And they're going to do it.
And I have a huge
And they're going to do it.
I have a huge problem with this. Isn't it been since the dawn of man that you're not supposed to profit from crimes in this country?
You, as a criminal, cannot profit.
Right. So the kids of criminals,
Fair game.
It's fair game for them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think as a criminal who is a behind bars, a property of the state or the government, that you cannot profit off of your crimes.
You know, I was thinking about this. The thing is that the family, the Chrisleys, would have been very entertaining and watchable and hilarious.
They are funny.
Even if they didn't have the money. If they were just a normal everyday family with a, I don't know, $50,000 a year salary, whatever. What's the average? I don't even know what the average is in America. But if they weren't multimillionaires, ill-gotten gains,
right,
as it turns out, they still would have been a very fun reality show to watch.
Yeah.
Because Todd was funny and his mother was funny.
I enjoyed watching them. They were very funny.
I did too. But I did not know when we were enjoying watching them that they were fraudsters.
Well, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. I can still enjoy watching the shit.
Yeah. Well, it turns out that Savannah, who's 25 years old, has custody of Grayson, who is 16, and Chloe, who is 10. The two underage children of Todd and Julie.
Yeah.
Who are now in prison for 12 and 7 years.
Well,
anyway.
I believe Chloe is the daughter of
Todd's first sons, yeah, from a previous marriage.
Right, who I have read is trying to get custody now.
Well, yeah.
Who has since not been able to get custody.
The whole thing is a freaking mess. But so you think that Savannah and Shay should be able to profit off this?
If I were them, knowing what I were going through,
you would.
Fuck yes.
You would.
Fuck yes, I'd take the money and go. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks.
Speaking of reality shows, Sylvester Stallone and his family have signed up for a reality show on Paramount Plus. The Family Stone with his wife, Jennifer Salvin.
The Family Stallone.
Stallone. And his daughters. His daughters are named Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett.
Stupid names.
How would you like to be named Sistine? Like after the chapel. The 8-episode series will be a look at their day in the life of the Stallone family.
I can't wait.
And it's going to be heavily promoted during this Sunday's Super Bowl, we hear.
I cannot wait.
I just said Super Bowl. Guess what? You're allowed to say Super Bowl. Despite the fact that we're not sanctioned by the NFL. Speaking of reality shows, more of Representative George Santos's lies has surfaced this past week. This probably takes the cake. He allegedly told potential campaign donors that he was one of the producers on the biggest Broadway flop of all time, Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark. Do you remember this show?
I remember, and it went nowhere.
Of course it went nowhere. Show spokesperson from someone who was involved in Spider-Man said, listen, of all the tribulations the producers of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark had to endure, we're very pleased and proud and relieved to report that working with George Santos was not one of them. The guy had nothing to do with it.
No.
Santos would have been 21 years old at the time. This show, that was a while ago that show was on.
Can we just please do something with this? I mean...
But why of all shows, why would you pick George Santos? Why would you pick the biggest flop in Broadway history that lost $75 million?
Dude, the guy said he
That's
went
what
to
I wanna
college on
know.
a fucking like volleyball scholarship. And of all the fucking things,
Of all
fucking volleyball.
the fucking things. The guy, and he's still,
He's
to
a
this
joke.
day,
He's a joke.
as we
He's a
speak,
joke.
still a U.S. congressman.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
I got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your
It's
hosts,
very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Gotta say this, Joe. Our good friend Marcy, who lives out in California, she is recovering from surgery. So, that's probably what she said when she got the surgery. Very excited for her. She says that it's not gone bad, so excited for her. She's gonna get well soon.
Yeah.
Excited about that. All right. Tennessee lawmakers push to replace Columbus Day with Super Bowl Monday. I love this story, and this story actually happened to come from Marcy. She's the one that pointed this out to me. The Monday after Super Bowl Sunday traditionally is one of the least productive work days of the year, it turns out. I can see that.
Well, yeah.
Over 100 million people are expected to watch this game this coming Sunday. And most people who watch the game will probably be drinking lots of beer. And they won't be good for shit on Monday morning.
No.
Christopher Columbus, on the other hand, is, by all modern accounts, a creep. And it's still dumbfounding to us that it's still a federal holiday, Columbus Day. Anyway, so basically the Tennessee lawmakers want to replace Columbus Day, which is October 9th this year, with Super Bowl Monday.
There you go.
They wanted to make it a bank holiday, a day that people don't have to go to work.
There you go.
I don't think this is going to pass. It seems a little ridiculous to me.
It's not going to pass.
It's maybe it'll be a Tennessee holiday. It's certainly not going to be a federal holiday.
Right.
But the idea that even with someone as liberal as who's our president now? I almost said Bill Clinton.
Biden?
Joe Biden. As liberal as they come, that we still have Columbus Day as a federal holiday. Why hasn't he done something about that?
Because you pick your battles. and he can't do anything about it. There's no way he can do anything about Columbus Day.
Can we finally?
No fucking way.
Yeah, right. Can we finally put a cork in the idea that Jack could have survived on the Titanic?
Why is this showing up on my fucking news feed? And why, like, what has happened? What has perspired?
Perspired?
To make this come up on my fucking news
I'll tell
feed.
you why. So Titanic, the movie that we
There was
all...
water, so it's perspired.
There you go. I love that. The reason this is coming up so often right now is because Titanic is now 25 years old. And that itself makes me feel very old because it seems like just yesterday that I watched Titanic. Titanic is 25 years old, and National Geographic has a new documentary called Titanic, 25 years later, with James Cameron. It's available now. If you guys have National Geographic.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I would too. We should watch it as soon as we're done with the show. James Cameron admits that Jack could have survived even without climbing on that fucking door with Rose.
Yeah, but I don't believe that for 1 second. Who's for him to say? If the water was that cold, right? And how many hours were they in the water before that boat turned back, right? I mean, we're talking about water that is holding icebergs, let's say. And
but
maybe
they did
not.
They did experiments, Dale. Working with a team of scientists and 2 stunt performers, Cameron conducted experiments recreating what star-crossed lovers Jack and Rose went through on the night of the Titanic sank. The night the Titanic sank. And some of the solutions they may have tried. It seems that if the couple had both used the door to keep just their upper bodies out of the water, and Rose had given him her life jacket to help him keep warm, Jack would have lived.
So Rose is a bitch.
Rose is a bitch. We all know that. We've known that from day one.
Yeah, Rose is a bitch.
James Cameron says that Jack wouldn't have done that, though. His main objective was to keep Rose safe. Now, let's point out that Rose and Jack are fake people that did not exist and were not on the Titanic.
Well, obviously.
The people who survived the Titanic were all the ones that were in the lifeboats. Yeah. None of the people in the water survived.
And
just want you to know.
You know what?
That.
Speaking of this whole thing is I'm tired of movies in these situations where it's life or death.
Mm-hmm.
Is in the conversation of equality.
Oh God, here we go.
Can we stop with the movies and television, regardless? Mm-hmm. Is that I don't ever, from this day forward, want to see a scene where people who are about to die try to go into a place where they're going to be saved, and it says women and children only. Why is that a fucking thing? Why is that a thing?
Okay, one, where have you ever encountered this in your entire fucking life, except on the Titanic?
No, not real life, but I'm talking about in movies. I just said movies and TV series.
Women and children first. Why?
Why?
Are they any more important than the men?
Right.
And back then, the men were the ones making all the money. Right. So why would you put the women and children first? They're not making any money.
Right.
Exactly. So
I don't get it.
You're saying it's backwards.
I'm just saying it's stupid. No, not backwards at all. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's unfair.
It is unfair. I agree with you on that.
And I don't like it.
He doesn't like it, y'all. Dale Blade doesn't like it.
If you want equality, then when it comes to me being running to a mountain because fucking China's shot nuclear weapons, then I want the same chance as the women and children.
Every man for himself.
Right.
Every human for himself or they self.
For themselves.
It's they nowadays.
I don't know. But you're taking it further than what it needs to be. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
Speaking of dead things, what about that dead groundhog up in Canada?
Ricky Vitale?
Isn't it? It isn't
no,
just.
That's not his name.
Puxatawny Phil, who showed up on February 2nd.
I swore that bitch was dead.
And I did say it correctly, that Puxatawny. I know I couldn't say it last week, but I'm saying it now. Puxatawny Phil. There are other animals in other parts of the world who also poke their heads out on February 2nd. But up in Quebec, Canada, they have a day called Fred's Day. And Fred Lamont was supposed to poke his head out on February 2nd. But he was found dead the night before the big gig.
Yeah. You want to know what I say about this?
Yeah.
Is that no groundhog pokes their head out on Groundhog Day.
No.
They are yanked out
by
whatever
humans,
crevice that people make of. And yes, I feel bad for the Canadian Phil.
Yeah.
But the Pennsylvania one
No, his
probably
name is,
wishes he was dead.
The Canadian one's, his name is Fred, not Phil.
Well, you know, I kind of feel like I'm torn on this because I like this idea that this is a holiday just because it's weird.
It's not a holiday.
And it's American and Canadian. Canadians probably took it from us, or I don't know where the fuck it came. It doesn't matter. But I like this as this is like these should be the fucking holidays. Not religious holidays, not holidays named after people.
Agreed.
When are fucking Americans going to learn not to name anything after anyone? Fucking stop doing it.
Like Harry Reid International Airport.
Fucking stop doing it. Just stop doing it.
Please stop naming things after politicians. That's what I want to do.
Just stop doing it.
Right, but we're off center here.
We're not off center. That is completely on center. Just fucking stop doing it.
Even though the Canadians found out that Fred was dead before their event started, they decided to go forward with the event, and they used a stuffed animal instead.
That is fucking hilarious.
Both the stuffed animal in Canada, in Quebec, and Puxatawny Phil in, where is he in? Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
They both saw their shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter.
Yep.
For all of you fucks that live on the East Coast. I don't know that counts for us here on the West Coast.
Well, it has been unseasonably here for a long time.
Last year, New Jersey's Milton Mel also died right before his gig was up. They canceled that event in solidarity for Milton Mel. Apparently, it's not just Puxatawny and Milton Mel and Fred Lamont. There's tons of animals that come out on February 2nd.
Quit using
all over the
animals.
world.
If you want to do
Stop using animals to predict the weather.
Pennsylvania, just pull a redneck out of a hole or just knock on the door and say, "Oh, I saw my shadow."
In related
Redneck
news,
Fred, just throw a shadow.
Redneck Fred. Is that what we said? Redneck Fred. You know, rednecks have bigger dicks than white regular guys.
Well, there you go. Then the redneck can drop his drawers, and if the sun shines on his dick and gives a 3 o'clock shadow, then we're gonna have a soon summer.
A soon summer, he said. A soon summer. That's the new title of today's show. A soon summer. In related news, the inventor of Peeps has passed away.
Oh no.
His name was Bob Bourne. He was 98 years old. He died last week.
Man, that fucker have a run, though.
He created the mechanical assembly line that made it possible to produce millions of the gooey marshmallow chicks that we all know. And it's become basically an Easter favorite for so many people.
Yeah, and they tried to do other holidays, but they can't get over Easter. And the thing is with Peeps is that, you know, I do enjoy them, but it's bittersweet because I'd rather do it out, but it's become a staple, and thank God for him. I mean, I want to be him. I want to be the heir of the Peeps guy.
You know, they have stores. They have actual physical stores now.
There's a store at the goddamn
National Harbor. Back when Dale and I lived in D.C., I used to do the Peeps diorama contest. the Washington Post, which is based in Washington D.C., obviously did the annual Peeps contest where you'd make a diorama with Peeps and try to win a prize. It started back in 2007, and it's still going strong. I didn't know it was still a thing.
Nice.
Yeah, but still a thing. I put a picture up here. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
This is not one of my dioramas, but I actually did it like 3 or 4 different years, and I did not win. But people do win.
Hooray.
So you basically take Peeps and make them into, like, I don't know, the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Pulling out a groundhog for...
Exactly, Groundhog Day. Anyway, but Peeps are great, and they make all kinds of different ones now.
Yeah,
there's coffee flavored ones,
and there's the watermelon ones are kind of good.
Ew.
They make the sour ones, which are not good. It's just weird.
Yeah,
but it's always and forever will be.
It's a marshmallow
Easter thing.
It's an Easter thing.
It's an Easter thing.
But they've tried to make it so that people will buy them all year round.
Chicks and bunnies are Easter.
Agreed. Bruce Springsteen fans are fed up with insane concert ticket prices, and I don't fucking blame them. So apparently, there's been a Bruce Springsteen fan magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Backstreets. It's been published now for 43 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Wow.
I mean, Springsteen's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
So 43 years this fan magazine has been published for all of the fans of Bruce Springsteen. They decided to cease publication because they're so fucking mad and upset at the price of concert tickets right now. They say the average person can't afford to attend anymore. And I get it.
It's true.
They
it's
can't.
Totally true.
It's absolutely true.
Totally true.
Bruce himself has weighed in. He says he's instructed his people to go along with what everyone else is doing. What Taylor Swift is doing, what Beyonce is doing, what Madonna's doing. Which means that seats are going to start at the mid $200 range, and they quickly go up from there to the thousands and thousands of dollars because of the bots and the resellers.
Right.
This is the problem with concerts in the modern day. One Taylor Swift superfan just said last week that she paid $5,000 for a nosebleed seat.
It's bullshit.
For one of her upcoming concert tours.
Bullshit. It makes
if you're paying $5,000 for a seat in the 400s,
yeah,
you're a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, regardless of that,
who would agree to do that?
Regardless of the people who have the money to do it, you're looking at the majority of the population who does not, and it takes away from the fan experience. And I wonder if you're a band, right? Yeah. Or a person, we'll just say band to
anybody.
To just say everybody. Why can't you do this on your own? Why can't you do this on your own? Right? And then you implement, you can get the software and you can implement where your name goes on the fucking ticket. Get rid of fucking Ticketmaster. Get rid of fucking Ticketmaster.
Fuck Ticketmaster.
If I'm Taylor Swift and I want to say, hey, I'm booking the Allegiant Stadium for this date because I believe I can fill it.
Right.
Okay.
She can.
I'm Allegiant Stadium, right?
Yeah.
I say, okay, I need this amount to make money and fulfill my obligations for the people selling concessions and all that. This is what I want. Then it's her deal to make fucking money, to make it work.
Exactly.
Make it work.
No, but here is the solution, and I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show, but I've certainly said
Make
it
it like
on
an
social
airline
media.
ticket.
Make it like an airline ticket. When you buy a concert ticket, your name is on the ticket, and when you get to the venue, you have to show your ID.
Right.
Just like you would if you're getting on an airplane, and in you go.
Right.
And what that does is stop the secondary ticket market, which
Stops the bots.
It stops the bots. It stops the secondary market like StubHub. Sorry, StubHub. Fuck you.
Well, no.
Fuck you, StubHub.
No.
And
StubHub will go, that would be a sacrifice of the industry, and I think that's okay.
You buy a ticket. If you can't go, you're just fucked. You're fucked. You can't go.
No, if you can't go.
Buy a ticket. You can't
go. Then places like, okay, even if you take like the individual out of the equation and you say I'm going back to Ticketmaster, then Ticketmaster should be treated like an airline. It's like, okay, either you bought the insurance and I'll give you all of your money back in cash,
Right.
or you didn't buy the insurance, but I'll give you credit for your next buy.
There you go. Okay, so you need
Easy as that.
So you need to, if you bought
Easy
a ticket to Taylor Swift on January 7th and you can't go, you have to sell it back to the person you bought it from.
Right, because it's in my name.
You cannot sell it to someone else.
You can't sell it to someone else.
That would stop all of the problems. And then we would not have little girls who were 17 years old paying $5,000 for a seat in the 400s.
It's unfair. And the bots are the only ones who do this. They mark up the prices so much, and people can enjoy their favorite artists. I remember being a fucking teenager and trying to scramble up $30 just to go see someone who I like, which is not that much money, but it was doable.
No,
it was doable.
When I think about the concerts that I went to as a teenager, would I ever spend $1,000 on a ticket? Fuck no.
No.
Maybe 20?
Not at
Maybe
all.
30. $30 would have been a lot.
Yeah.
To see Huey Lewis and the News, which was, I want to mark it right here on the show. Huey Lewis and the News was my very first concert. What was your first concert, Dale Blades? Can you remember?
No.
He can't
Not
remember.
right this moment.
Not to be overshadowed by M&M's and the controversy that we talked about last week. A&W Root Beer, the A&W company, which basically, more than root beer, they're also a restaurant chain.
Yes.
They've decided to put pants on their previously pantless cartoon character bear.
Okay.
After Eminem's spokesperson's mess.
Another thing that no one asked for. I'm waiting for Charmin. Where is Charmin right now?
Right. For the past 60 years, Rudy has not worn pants.
Oh, no.
But A&W is decided that they're going to put pants on their character because they don't want people to think that they're not cool and PC, like the M&Ms, which have decided that their spokes candies are not PC anymore.
I'm gonna say it now. This is something that no one asked for. So when you get the blowback, it's all your fault.
I was thinking about this. How many cartoon characters don't wear pants? Donald Duck.
No one has asked for the Charmin bears to wear pants, and they're literally wiping their ass in the commercials.
They're literally talking about wiping their ass
Right.
on the TV commercials.
No one's asking for cartoon characters to wear pants.
No, but A&W is obviously poking fun at M&M's and their whole
Are they?
bullshit that they've gone through.
If you're
Yes,
poking
that's
fun,
what it's all
You
about.
undress your animals, and you make them nudist.
So you think they
That's
should have
not
made
poking fun.
You think they should have taken Rudy's top off instead of putting pants on him?
Yes, that's how you make fun.
So I was wondering about this because we don't have a lot of A&W restaurants around here.
No, they're East Coast.
A&W is a privately held fast food chain famous for its obviously for its root beer floats.
Have you been the one?
I don't think I ever.
There used to be one in Rehoboth Beach.
Yeah.
Which I think is now closed.
The company has roughly 600 locations in the United States. About 100 of those are connected to gas stations and convenience stores.
Yeah, that's how they are.
I looked this up. The closest location to us, 17 miles away from our house.
Mm.
Yeah. So now I want a hot dog and a root beer.
Right.
That's all I can say. Hey, I got a bunch of entertainment news. So excited about a lot of this stuff. And I know Dale is excited about some of this stuff too. Number one is Acapulco, renewed for season 3 at Apple TV Plus. If you guys don't know, so cute, so heartwarming. I literally cried my eyes out during the season 2 finale. It's a heartwarming, cute little show. Do you not agree?
Totally agree.
Love it so much. And if you guys don't like
Mimo.
Spanish, half the show's in Spanish and half the show is in English. So you need to get over that fact. You will be reading, if you don't speak Spanish, you will be reading half the show. But literally one of my favorite shows on TV. Love it so much and love all the characters and literally cried during the last episode.
Yeah.
So catch up if you guys have Apple TV Plus. Dale doesn't know about this, but I watched Reboot, this great show on Hulu, and it was canceled after the first season. Very excited, very upset about this. It had great ratings, great reviews. Producers are now searching for a new home. You didn't watch this, did you?
No, I didn't.
Johnny Knoxville was one of the characters on this show.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser from, you remember him.
I know Polarizing.
Yeah, Judy Greer, Rachel Bloom. Great show. And I enjoyed every second of it, and I do not understand. Johnny Knoxville was really upset about this, and he made it very well known on social media that he was not upset about it. That he was upset about it. he was not upset about it, Dale.
But he was. No, he wasn't. No, he was. He was.
He was. Anyway, I hope it finds a new home, and I hope Hulu changes their mind because it was really good. Did you watch the preview trailer for Murder Mystery 2?
You didn't make it sent to me. I did not.
I sent it to you this morning.
I know, and here it is this evening.
Here it is this evening. That's the title for today's show. Here it is this evening. Here it is this.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Murder Mystery 2 stars Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler as they struggle to get their private eye agency off the ground. And man, watch the trailer, y'all. It looks really fun. It's kind of silly, obviously, because of Adam Sandler. Very similar to Shotgun Wedding, which we talked about last week, and also Glass Onion. Yeah. And there's some elements of True Lies in there.
I like True Lies.
Yeah.
I do like True Lies.
So I'm excited about this. It drops on Netflix on March 31st. I'm kind of excited about this. This is something I did not see coming. Did not know that it was a thing. Last week we talked about all the renewals at Fox. We talked about all the cartoons like The Simpsons and what else was renewed? Family Guy. Yeah, at Fox. Well, it turns out that King of the Hill is being rebooted at Hulu. Mike Judge is involved, and all the original voice cast is coming back. This is 13 years after the fact.
Oh, they're going to start cussing. It's going to make cartoons so much better.
If you guys remember, King of the Hill ran on Fox from 1997 till 2010. And it turns out that repeats are huge on Hulu.
Yeah.
So they decided, hell, let's make some more.
I think reboots are big on most anything you plays them.
But of all the shows we talked about last week, King of the Simpsons and Family Guy and Bob's Burgers, those are the 3 shows we talked about last week. King of the Hill, by far my favorite.
It's funny.
I love that show.
It's fucking funny.
So it's coming back. And if you guys didn't know, Futurama is also coming back to Hulu.
Maybe they start cussing, and then maybe we get really, really fun.
We need R-rated cartoons in our future.
Yes.
Again, a little bit more entertainment news here. The pompous and awful Dr. Phil, who I just fucking can't stand. is finally retiring at the end of this current season. This is his 21st season on syndicated television. Dr. Phil ending this spring.
Hooray.
Can we get a hooray?
Hooray!
And you really have to question why Oprah got into bed with Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz.
Dude, you know why.
They're both horrible, horrible, horrible people. And it has to be all about the money, right?
Because if I were Oprah and knowing these two people, which are horrible, if it brought me the money, fuck it. Fuck it.
Anyway, one more thing before we go to break, before we end the show, I want to talk about HBO's The Last of Us one more time because so fucking amazed at this show. I think that if you guys aren't watching it, if you're not HBO subscribers, get on it. If you're not an HBO, what do they call it? HBO Plus? No.
Max.
HBO Max subscriber. Do it now. It's worth every fucking penny. And The Last of Us maybe, and I'm putting my
it's the new Game of Thrones.
I'm putting my on the
New
line
Game of
here.
Thrones.
One of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it's going into my top 5.
I will say that HBO Max's or HBO's Last of Us can pull off a backstory.
Yeah.
And
like no other show ever.
I don't know what the worst thing I could say here, but do backspins.
If you're
on AMC Plus's Walking
Let me
Dead
just tell you
backstory.
guys. Let me tell you guys.
How fucking boring.
Yeah.
How fucking boring. And when we were going to watch The Walking Dead and you knew it was going to be a backstory, how defeated did you feel? It's like, I get nothing from this. I get nothing. But fucking HBO's The Last of Us, their backstory on episode 3 is phenomenal.
If you are a fan of Walking Dead, please, please, please watch The Last of Us. It will make you forget AMC for the rest of your lives. What they've done...
Yeah, because The Walking Dead's a piece of shit compared to
what they have done with The Last of Us will blow The Walking Dead out of the water. Episode 3 is probably one of the best episodes of television that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Fucking agreed.
It was a movie. It belongs on the big screen. It was a great, great story. Now, of course, Dale and I are gone. We've gone through episode 4 already. Episode 5 will drop this Friday, 2 days early because of the Super Bowl, it turns out. They decided, hey, let's drop it on Friday because no one's going to watch TV on Sunday because of the Super Bowl. So, anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Don't you?
Yes.
Anyway, also out this week, the 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees have been announced. We don't know who is going to be the eventual people, but, so you have to be around for 25 years before they'll even consider you.
Yeah.
So here's who's up so far for 2023. Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, Iron Maiden, Joy Division and New Order, Cyndi Lauper, George Michael, dead, Willie Nelson,
almost dead,
Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, The Spinners, A Tribe Called Quest, The White Stripes, and Warren Zevon. So I didn't know who the fuck Warren Zevon was, but it turns out that you all know who he is. He's the guy who sings Werewolves of London, and everyone knows that song. So anyway, those are the guys, those are the groups and individuals that are up for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees for 2023. I'm not sure exactly what the date is that they're gonna narrow that down, but we'll find out. I think it'd be fun if George Michael wins post death, right? Post life.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, we'll see you guys.
Bye, y'all.
We'll see you guys next week. All right, Rudy the Great Root Beer. Wait, no, I fucked it up. Hold on. Ready? I'm going to do it again. Rudy the Great Root Bear now wears jeans. He's 60 years old, but for the past 60 years, 60 dude can't talk. Dude can't talk.